What is IRS Form 1099 CAP, who uses it, and what are the filing deadlines? If you're looking for these answers and more, keep watching. We're eForms, your go-to destination for simplifying immigration, business, legal, taxes, and more. To grab an official copy of a 1099 CAP, click the link in the description below. Otherwise, let's jump in. In this video, we'll cover what an IRS Form 1099 CAP is, who's responsible for filing, how to file, the deadlines, and more. Let's start with the basics. What is an IRS Form 1099 CAP? Let's say you own shares in a company, we'll call it XYZ Corporation, and then another company called ABC decides to acquire your company. As a shareholder of XYZ, you might receive certain benefits from this acquisition or transaction, such as cash, stock in the acquiring company, or maybe a combination of both. When you receive these benefits, XYZ Corporation will issue you an IRS Form 1099 CAP so that you can report this distribution. For example, if you receive $5,000 in cash and $10,000 worth of stock, you'll need to report these amounts on your tax return. Who files a 1099 CAP? A corporation must file a 1099 CAP for any shareholder who receives at least $1,000 in cash, stock, or other property following the change in control or capital structure. However, it's important to note that if the corporation makes the consent election on Form 886, then it's not required to file a 1099 CAP for shareholders that are clearing organizations. In terms of brokers being involved in this process, if a broker shares in a company for someone else, they must submit Form 1099-B if the company goes through a major change in control or its capital structure. What does consent election mean? This is when a company filling out a Form 8806 decides to allow the IRS to share information about a specific transaction, like when it happened and what shares were involved. If a company chooses this option, they don't have to submit Form 1099 CAP for clearing organizations. Are there any exemptions? Yes. There are situations where a corporation is not required to file a 1099 CAP, and this applies to certain exempt organizations such as brokers, tax-exempt organizations, and foreign governments. We do have a link in the description below for a full list of exempt recipients. Deadlines are important to know, so let's go over those. The deadline to file Form 1099 CAP with the IRS is February 28th of the following year, or March 31st if e-filing. The filer must give copy B to the shareholder on or before January 31st. If the corporation is filing for a clearing organization, they must give copy B to the clearing organization by January 5th. It's important to file and within the appropriate timeline, as penalties can be quite expensive at the cost of $500 per day. Let's quickly go over the steps to filing. Step 1. Collect W-9s from each shareholder. Step 2. Choose a filing method. If filing electronically, skip Step 5. Step 3. Complete Form 1096 along with copy A if filing by mail. Step 4. Mail Form 1096 and copy A to the appropriate IRS address. Step 5. Send copy B to the shareholders. Step 6. Retain copy C for your records. Remember, understanding the basics of these forms makes the process a whole lot smoother. We're eForms, your go-to source for business, immigration, taxes, and more. For more on the 1099 CAP, click the link in the description below this video. There you'll find a detailed breakdown on the steps to filing, as well as an official form that you can download. Thanks for watching and happy tax season.